Hello, this week we will talk about web design. We get this question a lot from our clients. Most of the questions revolve around how much web design costs, if we really need to do a redesign, if we can take an existing template and use that. What type of design do I need to do for different types of platforms? If we are running a B2B lead generation site, it's going to be different from an e-commerce site. And if you're running e-commerce sites, an e-commerce site that offers $50, $60, $70 products will be different from a luxury e-commerce site that might be selling $10,000, $20,000 worth of products. If you want to take the conversation offline and close the sale offline, it really depends on your operation, and it really depends on what you are trying to push from a design standpoint. Also, do you need a rebranding? Do you need to start from scratch, or do you need to optimize your brand because you recently raised money or you recently changed the name of your company? It really depends on these details. So, Joe, what are the steps in terms of a design? How do we make a decision on if we need a redesign or not, or if we can use an existing template for a design on these different platforms? Obviously, you can get templates for $50-$60. For WordPress, you can get templates for a few $100s to thousands of dollars on Shopify, BigCommerce, Volusion. How do we determine what needs to be done from a design standpoint?
I think that taking a step back, we need to see does this company have any brand guidelines, right? Do they have brand guidelines in place that will then help us determine, okay, can we have this brand guideline implemented onto the site so that their brand consistency flows not only through the site, but also across other channels as well. Yeah. And what a lot of businesses fail to do is they forget that they need brand guidelines.
But most businesses do not have their brand
Absolutely.
guidelines. And by brand guidelines, we mean the different types of fonts, the logo, the colors that needs to be used. The brand guideline document is a document that highlights all of these details. And most companies do not. So is the first step actually going after and creating a brand guidelines
Absolutely.
document?
In my opinion, first step, you need brand guidelines. I don't care if you're a small business or a Fortune 100, you need brand guidelines. Because again, that's going to help you later on down the road in a situation like this where you might need a rebrand. Now you can go back to the original playbook and see what needs to be updated and what needs to be changed. And going back to your question, how do you determine if you need a rebrand or not? Again, look at the company itself. Did they change their product offering? Did they change their name? Are they trying to go after a completely different target demographic? Because all of those things influence how your brand should look and feel across the web.
And most companies do a fresh brand guideline or rebranding if they're repositioning their products, if they are recently acquired by another company, if they have merged with another company, or if they are basically seeing that they've been dropping in marketing or dropping in sales and they have to do something about it. That's when people go after rebranding. Now, the difference between rebranding and a redesign is rebranding everything, your logo, your fonts, your representation of your company from a design standpoint. A redesign could be just the website redesign that you have. So the first thing that you need to do is determine where you are today and what you are today. And as Joel suggested, that starts with a branding guidelines document. Let's say I have that. I have my branding guidelines, my logo, my colors, my font, the different representations and the different real estate I have in terms of, business cards or stationery or website, my Facebook, my Twitter. How does somebody determine if they need a website redesign or not?
In my opinion, and again, this is just, my opinion, I'm sure everybody has their own, but the way that I would look at it is in a almost from a conversion sense.
Yeah.
Is my website converting? If it's not, then I need to move things around. My user metrics might be poor. They might be getting to a page and the content on there just isn't placed where it needs to be. So that's one thing that I would say, you're going to need to redesign the way that this page is structured. And again, you want that consistent structure throughout your entire site. So then that would constitute a redesign.